Inter. Inter. Okay, it's kind of immediate. Your friend, your brother Haji, Dr. Ocean can Inter. Now, today's Guyana Times and other papers, I'm pretty sure, Tuesday, April 16, I'm saying what others are afraid to say. Amna Ali on PNCR leadership. Amna Ali, and I refer to her sister Amna Ali, I am saying what others are afraid to say. Amna Ali on PNCR leadership. No holding back on criticism of Norton's undemocratic leadership. I want to get to that article. I want to read it, and I want to comment on it. Ladies and gentlemen, we must realize that I'm one of the persons who was supporting Norton. Then because of his behavior and his tantrums, I realized after he got the leadership that he was unfit to be a presidential candidate and even a presidential personality. His attitudes, his behavior is typical like that, sadly, like that of a miscreant. As Burnham would normally use the word, political miscreants. I recall that growing up. And this man here, he throws his tantrums and his lack of disrespect, his lack of respect causing disrespect, his attitude, his behavior, the demand, as it is alleged by Mr. Morseline, of demanding blank checks. Till today, we have not had any kind of explanation, proper, decent, laudable explanation why he wanted those checks. His mouth is always sour, always bitter, always threatening, even to the point of being obnoxious, refusing to shake the hands of the president, obviously because of jealousy. He was not the presidential contender, but yet still, he, in his own mind, warped of course, is of the opinion that the Excellency President Dr. Ali did not win the presidential election. And he, who could not have campaigned and could not have posted candidates in the regional and the municipal elections, how could he and his party expect to win? I personally was always a friend of the People's National Congress, especially since Hugh Desmond Hoyt. A friend of all the political parties. But I particularly had liked Hugh Desmond Hoyt. His humanity, his charisma, his personality. Can a man like Aubrey Norton, can a man like this ever compare to Forbes Burnham? To Hugh Desmond Hoyt? Can he ever? Many people I asked that question, sympathizers of the PNC, and they would say, in no way he can ever dream to be a Burnham or a Hoyt. And within his own people, he's very much unliked and very much disrespected. I see PNC Chairman Sherwin Holder is defending his PNCR leader, and that is, it's a good thing to stand for what you believe. If Sherwin Holder believes that Norton is it for him, who am I to critique Sherwin Holder? That is what he believes in. And I have to respect Sherwin Holder for that. Now, Sister Amna Ali, PNC stalwart, a true lover and a giant in the People's National Congress, has spent her life in the PNC. And when Norton won the election, it is alleged that he forced her out, actually ejected her out, and then she politely resigned and left. They have not realized, Sherwin Holder, you too, and Aubrey Norton, what you have lost, all of that institutional knowledge, the tact, the style, the personality of Forbes Burnham, powerhouse in politics, and Hoyt in politics, all of them, and all of the leaders of the PNC coming down, that the wisdom and the knowledge of Amna Ali, you would cast aside in disgrace and hope to hurt and damage her, Norton. You know, politics is such a horrific, terrible department. So let us go to what Amna Ali is saying and read this in detail. And that was my take. Let me now read and make my commentary as per normal in this inter. I'm saying what others are afraid to say. Amna Ali and PNC, our leadership, no holding back on criticism of Norton's undemocratic leadership. The war of words continues between People's National Congress PNC stalwart Amna Ali and current chairman Sherwin Holder, with Ali calling out Holder for his attacks on her and her right to criticize party leader Aubrey Norton ahead of the party's election. I must say in this commentary, ladies and gentlemen, that it is sad that this great party has reached this low-level, dog-eat-dog state of internal bickering and warfare. I know maybe Holder, I have no problem with Holder, particularly Norton, would like Amna Ali and others to shut their mouth. But in the absence of democracy, then if democracy is bereft and all in manipulation, then somebody has got to be strong enough to speak. Amna Ali is saying what others are afraid to say, she says. I go on. Referring to Holder's allegations against her as garbage, former PNC General Secretary came out swinging in a statement on Monday. Who is Holder, though, Holder? Who could you saying that the woman who could be your grandmother is garbage? And this woman who helped to build the PNC and who has the stature, the personality and skill to reinvigorate the PNC. She is not contending for any position. She is not contending for leadership of the party. But she is speaking, and you need to learn to listen, boy. Young man, you need to learn to listen. Youth, when a woman of her caliber is speaking, don't get emotionally embroiled. According to Ali, who first attracted the ire of the chairman for calling Norton an unfit leader, she is merely saying that the party, what the party, many in the party are too afraid to say. I'm confident party members and supporters are too wise to be misled. I feel pity for my young comrade. I said, you, young man, show some respect. I have nothing personal against you. I don't know anything much about you. I heard about you, but you need to learn to show some respect for experience, brilliance, personality, intellect, experience. Well, in the raw, I just got a visit from my grandchildren, so I just had to pause a little bit. I got sidetracked of the point, but this is why it is in the raw. I feel pity for my young comrade, and I'm personally ashamed that he has allowed himself to be a conveyor of information and discrimination, to be a conveyor of misinformation and disinformation, desperately hoping that I will or can be silenced. Well, Shireen, you gotta understand, this is an old horse. This is she's a female, but she's a stallion in political knowledge and political science and tact. You got to be careful when you're talking to persons like her. She is tough and dynamic and strong, fearless. Okay? Shireen, behave yourself, boy. She's saying, I will, hoping that I will or can be silenced, that party members would readily believe him and not me. Well, himself and whoever he serves can sit and wait. I'm speaking aloud what many are silently saying and others fear to say, Ali wrote. Ali re-emphasized her points of contention with Norton. These include accusing Norton of being an undemocratic leader who undermines the party structure and weakens the party's central executive. Aubrey Norton's style of leadership is undemocratic. He has demonstrated a lack of accountability in the party by undermining and destroying various party structures and practices by which he can be held accountable, effectively placing himself as an autocratic leader with a central executive committee rendered ineffective and impotent, Ali further said. In other words, she's saying the man is making himself a dictator. And he's destroyed the structure of the party created by the PNC, our founder leader, Forbes Burnham, for internal democratic principles to prevail. Now she goes on. Comrades, my party, the People's National Congress, which I grew up in and served for over 53 years, from the age of 14, has always been a party of principles, a party with respect for its constitution, and with which every member was valued and had the privilege of financial accountability. We must ask Aubrey Norton who and what entitles him to run the PNCR like his personal pig farm or cake shop. I have served every leader of the PNCR and our members as well as supporters faithfully. I love her use of words as if it's his personal pig farm so he could take which pig he wants. Maybe some of the pig dung as well. And so that it is like his personal cake shop, he can take and draw blank checks. As it is was stated in the newspapers allegedly by one Mursaleen. I'm not going to lift a finger under Aubrey Norton's leadership. She's not going to do anything to help them. When he is changed as leader, I will look and see what contribution, if any, I can make. But as of now, I want nothing to do with Norton and his quality of leadership, the seasoned politician further contended. In a video recording over the weekend, Homelder had accused Ali of refusing to accept Norton's mandate from the party to lead, even though Norton was elected party leader over 2 years ago. He had read and directly criticized quotes of Ali saying she would not lift a finger to help Norton given his leadership style until party elections are held and a new leader elected. She, being the powerhouse, most experienced now in the party, who is there in the party with her experience? She knows something was not right here. So she's waiting for a new leader to be elected or proper elections to be held. But then what happened? the computer gone. The computer with the members are gone. Comrade Ali's remarks imply a refusal to accept the decision of the party membership. As a long-standing member of the party, Comrade Ali is signaling to others that it is okay to not accept the results of our elections should they lose. That is what Holder obviously is saying. For any party to be viable, it is essential that all are prepared to accept the decisions made by the majority, even should they lose, Holder said. By openly declaring her unwillingness to support the party under Comrade Norton's leadership, Comrade Ali sets a dangerous precedent that suggests losing candidates can simply opt out, rather than engaging constructively in internal discussions and decision-making processes. Comrade Ali's attitude suggests that it is acceptable for members to withdraw from the party if the preferred candidate does not win. I do not see that. And there's nothing about withdrawing. There might be a thing of self-suspension. What I'm seeing, self-suspension, not withdraw, not terminate from the party, but suspend oneself temporarily until we can have proper democratic elections. Ali is not the only one who has of recent been highly critical of Norton. Only last week, former Georgetown mayor and PNC member, and I tell you, a real dedicated PNCite, the man loved the party. And a lot of people give him flack for that. But the man, Ryan, former mayor, loves his party. And while I give him blows at certain times for certain comments and so on, I respect the man for loving his political party. Only last week, former Georgetown mayor and PNC member Ryan had posited that for the party to be truly represent the aspirations of its constituents, it must provide a space wherein individuals from all backgrounds feel valued and included. So what I'm gathering also, it is considered by many in the PNC and in the supporters of the PNC among the Indo-Guyanese community that Aubrey Norton is a racist, they allege. I am not saying so. I don't know much about it. But technically, this is what they're saying in fancy political language. He has said that rather than stifling voices of dissent, the PNC must embrace its diverse membership base while taking into consideration Guyana's multi-ethnic composition. In other words, don't just depend upon your Afro-Guyanese people alone. Win the hearts and minds of the other peoples as well. This is what Aubrey, former mayor Ryan, has been saying. And many are contending that this man is a racist. Contending, allegation, I don't know. Now, Ryan went on to call on the PNC Congress to address the concerns raised by loyal members who feel marginalized due to their Indian heritage or desire to challenge the party's leadership. So it will appear that Indians cannot challenge the leadership of the party, or they will be destroyed. That there's no place in the PNC. Is the PNC an African party? We have seen the PPPC being made an all-inclusive party. Maybe it's time for the leaders of the PNCR come to the understanding that they need to be all-inclusive. How can they attract us? I tell you what, study Hugh Desmond Hoyt, and you'll get some ideas. It's also been announced that the long-awaited PNCR Congress will be held before August 31st, 2024. Current PNCR Member of Parliament and Senior Counsel Roysdale Ford has already declared his intention to challenge Norton for the leadership. Ali is backing Ford's candidacy And I made to understand this Mahipal also wants to stand the election. Let us see, it's a dynamic time politically. May the best win, and may Guyana prosper, because we need a strong, powerful opposition, not that. And as for Ramjet and AFC, they have bowled themselves out. They have become a ride your donkey to be ridden by Norton and his party, and to be made fool of and put to shame, as we saw in Linden. I wonder if they should get a semblance of sense to run independently again. Your friend, your brother, me, Haji, Dr. Roshan Khan, Inter, Raw. Say thank you, farewell.